Burn it up, turn it round. Break the chains, feel the surge. Rebel hearts on the verge.
Body kick again.
Flows through every word. Warrior's voice will be heard. Whoa. That's right.
Snizzazz. I might have cut it a little early, but you already know what time it is, baby. Friday, 12 o'clock. The Warrior's Voice is here, and this is episode 10. Damn, we made it to 10 episodes, bro. It's crazy. 10 weeks of going strong. Actually, been a little bit longer. We did miss like a week or two due to like KC being scheduled like during the times we do the broadcast. But
the bye week.
yeah, we had a bye week. We came back refreshed. It was a good off the bye week. You know what I'm saying? We had a great episode. But this is episode 10. We don't have any guests today. It's just us. You gotta love it. Doesn't matter. I felt like this is actually better for episode 10. We're just gonna get to talk about karate all day. There's a lot of stuff going on right now. It is a lot of stuff. Before we get into that, Mac Tyson to be here in a minute, but I do have my boy with me, one of the best pickers in MMA history, man. My guy, MMA pickers. How you feeling today, baby? How's the weather in Maryland?
The weather in Maryland, hot and cold like it is every summer. I think we just forget what season it is. But I'm really excited to get into all this juice today. I had a really good time reading over these show notes. Got some huge fights coming up, obviously. Some huge potential signings. Very excited to sink my teeth in. And, it was I'm recovering. It was a rough week to be an MMA fan. Tragedy stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, let's get in there. Let's get into that real quick because I am completely like obliterated when it comes to sports this week in general. Let me just let you know. One, my Yankees lost the World Series. All right. I forgot I even put on a Yankees hat at this point. I forgot. There's oof. Yeah. I didn't even realize the decision making I did before the show. I just grabbed the hat. I have a case full of hats somewhere and I just threw one on and matched my shirt. All right. But the Yankees lost. The Giants lost. Max lost. Robert lost. Like, bro, I was on edge all fucking weekend long, bro. Like literally all weekend long, I'm on edge. It was rough, bro, to see. And to be honest, I forgot who I was talking to about this, but it sucks to come to this conclusion, but it's the truth right now is we're coming to the end of an era in the UFC. We're seeing a lot of our favorites. Like, bro, I just think about the last like 8 months. Volkanovski, Max Holloway, Robert Whittaker, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Like, it's probably some more I'm forgetting off the top of my head right now, but Brad Tavares, like a bunch of guys that we love and we grew up watching. We've been watching over these last like 10 some years. It's the new guys are coming in, bro. And it's scary because I don't like a lot of the champions right now. Not on a like personal level. I just don't like the way they fight. I just don't like. I'm not a fan of them as an all around fighter. But yeah, man, this sucks, bro.
Imagine having an entire career all the way to champ with 0 knockdowns on your record.
Yeah, bro, that was rough. I mean that too, bro. But like Ilia's the boogeyman.
Ilia's great. I love Max, and I hate to see it, but Ilia's great.
He's the boogeyman. Like, trust and believe. I don't like him because just the way he maneuvers, I'm just not a fan of it, right? And then I'll say I don't like him like I hate him. No, I just don't. I'm just not a fan of the way he promotes his fights, the stuff he does, the people that he mimics. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm just not a fan there. But as a fight fan, watching him, minus the fact that he's knocking out the people that I love, he's amazing.
Yeah, he's incredible.
He's amazing. He like his striking, like I'm a huge striking fan. His striking is so precise. He's so patient. He was getting beat on by Max. Max was putting hands on him them first 2 rounds in the beginning. And then he weathered the storm. He figured it out. He got to his position and where he likes to get, which is getting you against the octagon and throwing in those hooks. And he got it. The same shit he did to Volk. Every time Max got close to the octagon, I'm like, stop, get away, push forward, rotate, like do something. Do not let him get you. That's his game plan. And he succeeded, bro. And he did his thing. And you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him for getting the dub. He's now beating 2 champions, a former champion of that division and the BMF champion. Yeah, like he is right now the champion killer. And he's knocking them both out.
Yeah, actually, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. I know it's been a big topic all week, all over the MMA spaces. People are now debating who deserves Fighter of the Year between Ilia Topuria and Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira, obviously, defended a tremendous amount. The fastest person to bring title defense in UFC history. But then he has the caliber of wins for Topuria and the way he won. I'm curious.
Your mic's cutting in and out a little bit. I think you might have to speak up a little bit or come closer. It's like,
I'm sorry. Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, much better. There we go.
All right. Yes, I was asking you. A lot of people in the MMA spaces this week are talking about Fighter of the Year, and if that at this point in time, obviously, not counting on whatever happens during UFC 310, because I know there's some rumors about Alex Pereira coming back before the end of the year. But from where we're at now, Fighter of the Year, do you think it goes to Ilia Topuria on the caliber of his wins, or Alex Pereira because he's been the person to get to 3 title defenses the fastest in UFC history?
That's a tough one. Because you can't discount Alex's caliber of wins either. Like, he knocked out Yuri Prochazka. Yuri Prochazka was the champ. Like, we can't twice. Like, we can't negate the fact of that, right? He also beat Jamal Hill, who was the champ.
First round knockout.
He also beat, Izzy. This is not in that time frame of what we're the consecutive fights and a short amount of time, him beating the record. He beat Izzy. He beat, he beat a lot of the best champions over the last 5-6 years, right? And so did Topuria. Now, what I will say is, in Topuria's fights, he doesn't look like he's winning at first. And then he finds a shot and lands it. Alex dominates his fights. It's like Khalil Roundtree fight was the first fight where we was like, whoa, somebody actually put hands on him other than Izzy, right? Because Izzy's the only one to put the boogeyman to sleep. Let's just be real. He got beat. He beat him a lot. He beat Izzy a lot, but Izzy's the only one to put him out. Okay.
One random guy from the LFA tapped out.
Yeah. So one random dude from the LFA was good, Mac. So I would say, if Alex gets this fight in, 310 is what? It's November, December. 310's in January. It's in December?
December, because then it'll still qualify as far as Fighter of the Year. But yeah, it'll be hard to deny.
If he gets 310, if he gets in on 310 and knocks him out, it's no question that Alex gets it.
Of the year, yeah.
It's no question that he gets it. That's tough, bro. That's tough. I think you have to, because Alex fought the same person twice in that tenure. He fought Yuri twice. So that's the only thing I could say is like, well, he fought Yuri twice, fought Jamal Hill. The Jamal Hill kind of thing is kind of controversial too. Like
it was Yuri, Jamal, and then Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah. So, but it was Yuri, Jamal, Yuri, Khalil Roundtree.
So then it was Jamal, then the second Yuri fight, then Khalil Roundtree.
Yeah, because he fought Yuri at MSG. So I don't know, bro. At this point, honestly, I would say, damn, bro. I would have to give it to Alex just because they both have the same caliber of fighters. And the fact that Alex, shut up, ESPN. The fact that Alex beat that record, and the amount of champions that he fought in the time period, like, and on every card he was on. Like, I don't know if Ilia got performance of the night or what's the name, but he got performance of the night or like he got one of the top bonuses on every fight card he was on. So that's another thing, right? So I'm gonna give it to Alex for now. I mean, yeah, because here's not. I mean, what's the name's not fighting again? Topuria's not fighting against. I would say Alex. I give Alex my vote. If I had a vote in there, I would say Alex got fighter of the year. He broke a record. He's knocking out fighters. He's one of the fastest growing fighters in the UFC. That's not really pushed by major brands. Because Ilia Topuria had a big push, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's got this huge following now." But Ilia Topuria was getting pushed by like Benz and like huge major brands, like not like little Cuervo and UFC brands. No, like outside of it, he had like Mercedes-Benz and football teams with massive followings pushing him. So his growth was understandable. Alex's was just off the sheer strength of him knocking people out. You know what I mean? And people want to follow him. So I feel like he also has that fan, like that whole fan engagement side of it and the following to go with it. I feel like more people follow Topuria to see what he's going to do, and they follow Alex because what he does. You get what I'm saying?
Okay. I like that.
Yeah. So that's my take on that. But enough about the UFC. We're going to get more into that a little bit later. Stick around because we got some bets coming for y'all. My man, MMA Pickers is one of the best. I'm trying to tell y'all, if y'all didn't listen to the last one, he was up here. He wasn't here last week. But 2 weeks ago, out of like nine of those bets, 7 of them shits hit. I just want to let y'all know that we were cashing in early on the prelims. By the time we got to the main card, we was already up. We was up like a duck. By the time I got to the main card, I'm just making random bets at this point because we was already up. So I'm just like, fuck it. Let's just take him for a KO here. You know what I'm saying? But stick around for that. Let's jump into some karate combat stuff. But before I jump into the karate combat stuff, if you see up at the top, the QR code, I'm actually going to make it a little bigger for y'all. Shout out Karate Combat, one of the main sponsors of the show. Really look out, do a lot of stuff for us. I'm going to show y'all down here. Boom. Listen, if you don't already, get to the karate.com site, download the app. You can download it on Google Play. You can download it on Apple iPhone. You can vote on your fighters. You can't lose. You vote. If you win, you get more. If you lose, you get your money back. It's simple as that. All right. Download it now. You can vote on your favorite fighters. You can also vote on league rules and changes. We've had a lot this year, and the fans have had a big part of doing that. All right. So make sure y'all download the app. Let me know if you download the app because also, too, we're going to be giving away some karate token later. I haven't got an answer on how much I could give away, but I'll get back to y'all with that. But we're going to be doing one later. So shout out Karate Combat. Get in there, download the app. Yeah, I got to make sure we show love to the sponsors. All right, baby. So also, we might have another big sponsor coming soon. I'll keep y'all updated on that, man. You know what I'm saying? We gotta pin some stuff in first, but we will keep y'all updated on that. But let's jump into it, man. We got a nice agenda today. Shout out Mac Tyson. Let's talk to Mac Tyson real quick. Mac, how you feeling today? You just popped in. How's it going? What's it like up in Connecticut?
Apologies for being late. I needed help out my mom. You know, she's still recovering from those 2 big heart attacks.
Yeah. So shout out Mama. She been doing good, fighting a good fight. Tyson. Yeah, Mama Tyson been fighting a good fight. She's definitely recovering well. So it was lovely to hear. And take your time when it comes to her, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the only one I'm accepting. Everything else is unacceptable. All right, but yeah, shout out that, and I'm glad you're here.
You know, I'm on thin ice ever since the Yankee.
Yeah, especially since the Yankees lost. So I feel like it's your fault. I'm just saying. I feel like it's your fault.
I made the curse.
All right, but speaking of bad news and the Yankees losing and people losing things, Karate Combat just lost something. A huge star, somebody that I really got like attached to as a fighter, amazing fighter, one of our champions, and somebody who was really running through this division and just other divisions too. He fought a lot of people over time. Talk about Tebuev, and let's pull up this. There's a graphic. I don't think this post is up anymore, Mac. So I'm glad that you actually got the screenshot and sent it to me, because when I went to go find the post, it wasn't up. But if you check out right here, I'm gonna read what he said verbatim. He said, I'm completing the past of my past chapter of my life. The sports journey was bright, challenging, and brought me a lot of happiness. If I could choose my path first, I would choose it again without any second thought. I remain a champion. What can be better in the way of a warrior? And that's good on Sam on the Warriors voice. I am grateful to the Almighty for everything I experienced on the way in my dream, and I'm grateful to him for that. I have achieved my dream. So, unfortunately, we have lost yet another champion this year. I think this is our second champion we lost this year that's retired on top. So Sad news. Sad news. Sad news. But that also opens up some doors for some other people. We're gonna get into that in a second. But how do we feel about this, man? I love Tebuev, man, and honestly, I'm really upset because I wanted to see him fight Chelmiah again. I feel like that was like a fan anticipated fight, or by fans, I probably mean just me. But uh, but how do we feel, Mac? I'll start with you. You've been somebody who's been around for a long time. You've watched Tebuev and the majority of all of his fights, I'm pretty sure. And you've seen him like go through the division and take a few hard losses and come bounce back. And now we've seen his last fight was Luis Roca, and now he's gone. So what are your thoughts on this, brother? Oh, shit. Hold on. That's on me. Got you.
Okay, so it's a hard loss because this is one of the OGs. Like his first event was at Karate Combat Olympus in Greece back in season 1, pre-up only gaming season 1 of Karate Combat. So and in that fight, he also got one of the first ridge hand knockouts in Karate Combat history. This is an amazing fighter. This was an amazing talent. And from what I read, because Ross Turbo Levine actually wrote on a comment on a post, I forgot which one, and asked President Awesome like what happened with Tebuev, and what President Awesome said is that due to his skull injury, the new rule of the elbow is making it impossible for him to compete with Karate Combat. For those who don't know, in a fight with T. Silva, a former Karate Combat fighter that's in the LFA now, who has very strong knockout power, he broke Tebuev's skull. Now, Tebuev is such a beast that with a broken skull, he went on to win the fight. And like, there are some nasty images. Like, Apollo, if you post a clip of this video, definitely add the picture of Tebuev's skull. It's a nasty injury.
Yeah, I don't have a picture of it, but yeah, man, he definitely. Well, one, I can understand that, like health first, right? If you feel like something is detrimental to your health, I feel like you should definitely look into it. And if you can avoid giving yourself any further injuries at all, I would definitely exercise that option. I say the same thing like Tua Tagovailoa. I can never say his last name. I hate trying to say foreign names, but Tua is quarterback for the Dolphins. You know what I mean? I was saying the same thing with him, taking a lot of concussion injuries, just took one really bad ones. The last two, he was really hurt. And it's like, you got to really think about your health. And is the sport and what you're going for worth what damage you could apply that could be long term? You know what I mean? So definitely, I definitely agree. And also, it's a smart move to leave out on top. Like, if you're on top and it's like, listen, I could have more health issues. I could possibly re-injure my skull, which is a very important part of our body. I think our skull is like something that we should protect at all costs. It's protecting your brain, right? And your brain is the main thing that helps your body. Ooh, I don't know, I mean to do that. It helps your body function, right? So smart move for him to take care of himself, and smart to go out on top. Like, why not? I would rather go out on top than to go out with a loss or trying to gain back my glory. So it's a tough loss for us as KC fans, as, you know what I mean, a Karate Combat community, but also respectable way to go out. But do you have any thoughts on this before I move on to the repercussions of him leaving and what that led to?
Also, I don't know if you can pick it before Picker you go. I don't know if you can pull it up, but on X I sent you the picture.
Oh, is that the broken skull shot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I could pull it out. Give me 1 second.
That's pretty insane to win a fight with a broken skull.
Yeah, I mean,
MVP knockout, and that guy was out cold on his back.
yeah. Like, to be honest, this man is a freaking trooper. Like, what? You did what?
And
It's
at least we
actually
got
crazy.
Arthur Gasanov, who's cut from the same cloth.
Yeah, we do. Gasanov, and he was coaching Gasanov in the last one,
Yeah.
which was cool to see. So if you look here, yeah, there it is. Holy. So yeah,
That's insane. Wow.
yeah. So this makes total sense, and it's looked like. Well, so is that like what was it? A hit shot to the orbital bone? Looks like maybe the
Yeah.
top of it. Yeah,
Yeah, I believe it was like accidental elbow, if I remember correctly.
yeah. Yeah, and I would shit accidental, and then it's like y'all add them to it. Like, what do I what do I do now, right?
Crazy.
Yeah, that's it. This is insanity. That I mean, honestly, I wouldn't want to fight no more after this. So, shout out to him because he definitely fought a lot after this.
And won the title.
Yeah, and won the title after this, which is crazy. So,
He was
definitely
undefeated at bantamweight. All his losses came at lightweight against former champions. So
insane. Yeah,
even at a weight class that wasn't his optimal, the only people that could beat him were the champs.
yeah. He only lost to Skivers and Rocha. That's it. He's got 2 losses and 2 to champions. 2 to
And he beat Rocha afterwards, no?
yeah. He beat Rocha in
When-
Dubai.
When Rocha went down.
Yeah, and he KO'd him. So definitely is going to be insane to see. But when a champion leaves, what does that do? That opens up doors for new champions or former champions to become champions again. So it upsets me to even have to announce this fight because I love both of these guys with all my heart. I'm honestly don't even know how I'm going to watch this fight. But this is probably the best fan service that Karate Combat could give to their community at the end of the year to top the year off. You're giving 4-0 Arturo Vergara 3 KOs, 3 TKO victories, right? 3 KO or TKO victories, 1 unanimous decision in a crazy brawl versus former champion, 7-2 record, only lost to the best of the best in Karate Combat, been working his way back up the rankings to get his title shot. And we're going to have both of them fight in Miami, the place where Karate Combats have the best events at, the most packed out events. I hate it and I love it at the same time.
Wild.
I hate it and I love it at the same time. It's a beautiful fight.
It's going to be incredible.
It's incredible. Honestly, just bro, this is like you take the 2 biggest rams in the entire herd and you're like, y'all head for head right now. Cause that's what they are. They're always going to move forward. Both of them. So I like this fight could literally sit in the middle of the pit the entire time and then bang it out. I could see that possibly happening because they're both crazy like that.
Yeah. Like Owen has beautiful movement, but sometimes he just chooses not to use it. But that's also honestly something that could happen too, is that like they're just both constantly moving in and out, keeping the center of the pit, all with constant forward pressure, and it's just like in the pocket, but a short range blitz in the pocket.
Exactly. It's kind of like he steps up and then from the step up, he goes from that just straight in, and just pow. It's so quick. And Arturo's the same thing, right? And Arturo definitely utilizes. I feel like he utilizes kicks a lot more, which is crazy too, because Owen's background is insane with karate. Like he's been around it forever. So, but he loves to box. He's also got a great boxing background, so he utilizes that a lot in the pit. But dude, like stylistically, oh my gosh, this is beauty. Pickers, how you feeling about this fight? I know you love both of these guys too.
Well, I remember my first KC was Nashville, and that's where Owen got that, 15-second knockout, and then got engaged in the pit right afterwards. And got the pleasure of watching Vergara last month in person in his co-main event spot. And that was an absolutely incredible 3-round war. He definitely had the upper hand in most of that fight. Like you said, I think this is just incredible fan service. I have no idea who's going to win this fight. I'm super excited to watch it, and I think both of these guys have huge potential as champions for Karate Combat. They both have a lot of media appeal, both have a lot of viral moments in the pit. So I think this is a great fight all around.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, Arturo Vergara is probably one of the fastest rising stars in Karate Combat, next to like Eleni Pereira. Also, too, Jay Duran, and I've been posting shorts and stuff of different fighters. Jay Duran has quite a decent following too, man. I've had quite a few people like reach out and stuff like that, comment and stuff about her stuff. So you've seen a lot. But Arturo Vergara is like one I think I love about this is they're both homegrown Karate Combat fighters, right? Arturo Vergara does have a pro record. Like he is like, I think he has like another maybe like 6 or 7 fights in like MMA and like different stuff before this, but nothing on the scale of Karate Combat. Like it's not like he came from a one championship. It's not like he came from a PFL or any of the other major leagues that sit at the top of Karate Combat. He came from like smaller leagues and then really became a talent through Karate Combat. Eoghan Chelmiah is another one. Started in Karate Combat, built his name up, became champion, lost the belt, and still was adored by fans. Still, like, no love lost. Like it's rare to see a champion lose, and then there's no love lost afterwards, or your ass, or you're not good anymore. They fell off. It was none of that. And to see both of those type of people go up against each other, knowing that they're both explosive, knowing that this, like, it's scary because this fight could definitely, it's like Ilia and Max going against each other. This fight more than likely will end in a knockout. More than likely. It's just the simple nature of it. They're both heavy hitters. They're both known for knockouts. It definitely. It's either going extra rounds or it's going to be a knockout. I'm calling it now.
Well, if there's one thing I learned about Vergara in his last fight, the dude has a hell of a chin. And if there's one thing I learned about Chelmiah in his last fight, he has a hell of a right hand. So that'll make for a fun combination.
Yeah, man, dude. Yeah, Vergara's chin has definitely been tested. And also, too, I think if Vergara didn't go those rounds with, if he didn't go those rounds with, why is his name slipping my mind right now? Safar Akhmadov, right? If he didn't go those rounds with Safar Akhmadov, we would have never really seen like where was his stamina and cardio at, right? So that fight helped us understand that, which honestly probably set the playing field to be like, okay, Vergara's ready for that, that top type of, and he said it himself when he was up there. Like I did 3 rounds in the altitude. Like, I don't know what more else y'all want me to show y'all, right? Like, I'm ready for this.
When it comes to stamina, though, Chelmiah did 6 rounds at altitude on 3.5 weeks' notice.
Yes, he also was gassed the last 2 rounds. So
yeah, but
I will say that.
But like, still, the fact that it was a higher elevation than what.
No, 100%.
And also, Chelmiah is no stranger to the 5 rounds fight. Most of his fights have been 5-round fights.
100%.
So that's So being in this position, I'm almost surprised that Chelmiah's name is second on this poster, because I feel like Vergara, like it is a pick'em fight, but there's more X factors for Vergara going into this than Chelmiah. True,
that is true. I mean, honestly, it's weird. Like, I mean, and it was 2-2. I seen this too when I was watching the PFL, and you had Francis come out second, he came out second, but he was a challenger. So, I mean, we've seen this. It's happened before where like we feel like somebody else should be maybe the A side of the card. Honestly, if it was me, I would say you had to go with Chelmiah on A side just because he's former champ. He is higher up in the rankings as well. So, I mean, that would make more sense to have him first. I don't think maybe it's just the social media graphics guy just thought it looked better that way. Vergara, Chelmiah, Vergara, Chelmiah.
I don't think this was an upper echelon decision.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna look into it too much, but I feel like both of them are A-side, in my opinion. This is an A-side fight. This is like a pure A-side fight. Like both of them are great. You got the top two guys in the division, and to be honest, I don't know who's gonna win this fight. I honestly have to I was watching like film, and I'm just watching it like anything could happen. Like both of them are so their bags are deep. The bags are deep. They could pull out anything. Like Chelmiah could pull out karate. He could pull out boxing. Arturo Vergara, same thing. Like they both have great movement. They both know how to stand in the pocket and bang. They both know how to. They both have great head movement. Like it's so hard. Like you said, it's a pick'em. Like, and it's the best pick'em we can get. It's the solidest way you can end off the year is with these two people fighting, bro. It's just no. I don't think the only way it gets better is if Sam Alvey fights Marcus Perez as well, and we have a double championship fight at the same night. Karate Combat ends the year off with a fucking bang. That would be crazy. That's how you end off and I think that's what we're leading towards, to be honest.
Well, it's either that or maybe Rocha versus Shahzaib, since Shahzaib is in Florida too.
Yeah.
And then also, it was I have no reason to not say this because it was talked about in the comments of the post. They're also trying to shoot for Stephanie Oliveira for December.
Yeah. That would be crazy. I mean, if we got 3 championship fights, I mean, I'm not arguing with anybody here. I'm not arguing. I just know that it might be a little time before we get more championship fights if we do get that. So maybe we should space it out a little bit. I forgot where we're going in January. But yeah, man. This is a crazy fight. This is going to be insane. We don't know right now if it will be the main event of KC 51. Well, not KC 51. I'm sorry. Kickback. No, this is KC 51. Kickback is in Thailand. So we don't know exactly where it will sit on KC 51 because they do not have the full card out yet. But once they get the full card out and we know, we will definitely be hopping in and discussing what we feel about the main event and co-main, but more than likely they will be the co-main event. I think Sam Alvey and Marcus Perez will end up being the main event.
How could it not at least be the co-main? I mean, that's such an incredible fight. That could be the main event of any card, and nobody.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Either way, if they main or co-main, either one of those is the best. I think because that neither one of them are champions right now, and they're fighting for a belt. If you were to put Sam Alvey and Marcus Perez on the card, you would have them as a co-main because neither one of them are belt holders at the current moment. You would want the actual champion to fight on the main event. So that would make more sense there. But yeah, man. Any other thoughts on this fight? Any other things you guys want to go over with this?
I think that pretty much covers it. Just that it's going to be an amazing, incredible fight, and don't miss it for anything in the world. Because, oh my god!
I'm gonna save some stuff for the card breakdown when we get.
Yeah, 100%. And then because we're a little far out, I did want to mention this just because it's like breaking news, it's big news. But we will get more into the breakdowns closer to. We do have kickback before KC 51. So once we do that, we will do our full breakdowns, which we get very in depth into, and we will hook you guys up with some information on that.
The only thing I would add is, I know on the Reddit, some people, or at least one person, was wondering like why it's not Jesus Lopez on that card, and I understand that because at least for the OG fans, like Jesus Lopez fought Eoghan Chelmiah, and Owen won that fight, but a lot of people thought that Jesus Lopez won that fight.
Yeah.
And so there's a storyline there, even with mess up with the commission with the scoring cards where they actually put the belt around Jesus Lopez. So, but the reason why I think they did this fight instead is, and I love the Jesus Lopez fight, is just the fact that Owen and Vergara just have had so much momentum this year.
Yeah.
That for an end of the year fight, it was the logical fight to make.
As I said, it's all around the board fan service. You got the most exciting fans, the fans that they love in Karate Combat, and the fans that are captivating the new fans' heart, the new fans that are coming in hearts, right? And they're the top two.
Yeah,
it just makes sense.
But
like
if Owen wasn't ranked number one, then I could understand why people would be upset. But you have the number 1 versus number 4. You can't really argue too hard against that.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, well, we would definitely be turning back around to this topic soon. Probably a little bit after kickback happens in Thailand. But speaking of, crazy things going on in this world, let's talk about something that has connections with the UFC and karate combat. Now, if you don't know, Robelis Despainge, I don't know what the hell I was saying. Robelis Despainge, Taekwondo background fighter, extremely amazing striker, crazy knockout power in the first round, got released from the UFC because he lost his last 2 fights. And the reason he lost his last 2 fights is because they were wrestlers. So shout out Ultimate Punching for tagging President Awesome in this and basically saying Despainge will be perfect for the pit. I absolutely agree. And he said updates coming soon, maybe. Now, Robelis Despainge coming to Karate Combat is massive for him. It's a good move for Karate Combat. They need heavyweights. And Robelis...
I don't think you understand this, Apollo. If Robelis Despain comes to Karate Combat, he's not fighting the heavyweight division. He'll be opening the super heavyweight division, which is 205 plus with no upper weight limit. The big boys are coming.
So you think that they're going to open? To be honest, I mean, I like that, but I think the heavyweight division should be built out first before we move on to a new division.
I completely agree with that, Apollo, and I've always been pushing for that. But on the other hand, you got to strike while the iron's hot, and Robelis Despain is a huge signing. Olympic bronze medalist, our second Olympic medalist, because Roberto Despain is a Taekwondo Olympian. So if I was in the matchmaking shoes, what I would do is focus on the heavyweight division, just slowly trickle out the super heavyweights. Get Robert Despain some fights, maybe start building one other guy up, and then once the heavyweight division is really filled out and the middleweight division is really filled out, then go hard into super heavyweight.
Yeah. So I don't know. So I'm not familiar with the Karate Combat weight class setup, but is it locked in at heavyweight at 205 or can you go over 205?
It's locked in at 205.
Yeah, 205 is a cap.
205 is a cap. Okay.
And then super heavyweight would basically be no upper weight limit.
Got you. So you would start that. So, I mean, I like it. I do prefer that they build out heavyweights first just because it's lacking right now. And I feel like we need more. We need more challenge.
You gotta grab Robelis. He's right. You can't not.
No, you have to. You have to. Yeah. Like you have to grab him while the iron's hot. Right? Like you have to. It's do or die now. So if I was Prez, I would be trying to get him in there. Definitely looking at him last weigh in 264. He's definitely not making 205. Like that's damn near impossible. And he's a big boy. He's huge. Like he is massive. Very 6'7" with an 84-inch reach. That is crazy. That is crazy. His arms go past his knees. It's crazy.
And, fun stat about him: he actually finished his first 3 MMA fights combined in like 19 seconds.
Yeah, I literally was about to go to that next. I'm glad you said it. That was the next thing I was going to. Was this man is an absolute savage when it comes to knockouts in the first round. 12 seconds, first round knockout. Well, this one I didn't say it, but it was still in the first round. 4 minutes and 54 seconds. He almost got out of the first round. Rebella said, come here, catch this right uppercut in the hook. You got another one, 12-second knockout, 3-second knockout, 4-second knockout, 18-second knockout. And these two decisions by unanimous, these 2 fights by unanimous decision are both to wrestlers who held him down the entire fight.
One story about that, they're actually neither of them are wrestlers. Waldo Cortez Acosta, those were his first takedowns in the UFC, primarily a striker. And Austin Lane was a football player who became a UFC fighter. He's actually a brawler. He prefers to stand and bang. That was his first UFC win. He pretty much anyone who wanted to was able to get those takedowns on Robelis. Obviously, he needs a lot of work in that area. but that'll be less of a challenge for karate combat because they can't sit and stall for 5 minutes at a time.
Well, that was one of my questions too to y'all is, and MMA pickers, I want to hear your answer first because you just spoke on it. But will the ground and pound still possibly be something that he has to watch out for? Seeing in the fact that you can't stall out and you can't hold down as much as you would in like UFC, but if we've got another guy that's 250 on top of him with one knee up, I mean, this is where he has seen, this is where he's seen majority of his losses come from is him being on the ground in a bad position. Do you see it as being lifted a little bit, a lot, or could it possibly still be a problem for him if he goes up to somebody like against somebody like maybe Sam Alvey say he wants to move up to super heavyweight and fight him, right? Say he goes up against a guy like that knows how to wrestle, that knows how to get you to the ground and utilize that. Is this something that could still possibly be an issue for him?
I don't think so for two primary reasons. Number one, although we did see him get controlled on the ground in both of his UFC fights, he was able to pretty much mitigate all the ground and pound and damage. He didn't really take a lot of damage in either of those fights. So I think he's at least shown a decent defensive ability on the ground. And as we know in karate combat, once the knees hit the floor and it's no longer a standing position, it gets stood up. So I think with his height and leverage, he should be able to achieve that pretty easily using his guard and overhooks and whatever else he's going to use. I also think that just because of the way he finishes people, like, you're reading through his record, 19 seconds, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, he'll hit you with the left hook moving backwards and knock you out. He'll hit you with a head kick that's faster than lightning and knock you out. He doesn't knock you out by wearing you down and landing a bunch of strikes. He knocks you out by connecting with you cleanly once. So let's say he gets taken down 10 times. He's going to get stood up 10 times. It just takes him catching you on one entry to put your lights out. I think that serves him very well. The fact that instead of getting one chance to knock you out in a round and then getting held down for 5 minutes, he'll get 15 chances to knock you down or 10 chances to knock you down. And he's going to connect eventually. He's a very accurate striker. He's pretty much as fast as a middleweight, and he has power for days. So I think, yes, it could be a detriment as far as people being able to take him down and have a little bit of success with the ground and pound here and there. But I think this rule set suits very well for him to find the knockout eventually before the end of the fight.
Agreed. With his Taekwondo background and being a heavy striker, Mac, do you see him being more effective here?
Oh yeah, no, he's going to find his home here. His entire MMA career up to this moment has been focused on the attributes that are important in karate combat. That scramble ability, getting back up to your feet, not getting held down. So that's going to be a big advantage. Now, as a general rule, when a superior grappler fights someone in a superior striker in karate combat, it is a factor because that philosophy of in MMA where they always talk about how a superior striker does worse against a worse striker because of that grappling advantage, that still exists. It just doesn't necessitate the victory.
Yeah.
And you really saw that with it, especially since there will be no upper weight limit here. That is also a big part of it too, because take a look at Ross Levine versus Sam Alvey. They both weighed in at 205. But Sam Alvey did not fight at 205.
Nah.
He had 20, 30 pounds on him.
Yeah, he's like Alex. Alex weighs in at 205. He'll fight at like 230, 225.
Yeah. So and Sam Alvey himself will admit that Ross is the better striker than him.
Yeah.
But just because of that grappling advantage and that weight advantage, he was able to grind out a victory against a much superior striker in Ross Levine.
100%.
But the other factor we have to consider here is the realities of the super heavyweight division is all the superior grapplers already locked up in MMA. So the people that are going to fill out this division is going to be MMA strikers that really don't have the jiu-jitsu to get to that top level, but are excellent strikers, and probably more of the heavyweight kickboxers that aren't locked up in Glory. Or maybe some of the heavyweight kickboxers that won in Glory that aren't beating the champ, but are still high level and they want to try something new.
Yeah. 100% agree, man. But yeah, man. So hopefully they can lock that in, get them in. We might see a super heavyweight division. That would be beautiful to bring another division in. That means opportunities for more fighters, opportunities for more fights, more belts, more championship fights. Love to see it. Because I also felt like 205 was like kind of a crazy stop. But I can't understand if you have the lack of fighters, there's no reason of having a weight class with 3 people in it. So excited to see how it builds out.
Yeah, and that's been one of the big reasons why they haven't opened up the super heavyweight division.
Yeah.
Up until this point, the reason why 205 is considered heavyweight is because 205 has been the heaviest weight class that you could fill up with actual quality talent.
Yeah.
Now, with this opportunity, that puts better focus into it. But again, and the part of it is also the concern that you have, King Apollo, is you need to focus on middleweight and heavyweight. I don't want to see like the excitement of super heavyweight, and I think this is something the fans can also help control. Is it's fun to see these great super heavyweights, but we need to have a lot of focus on the middleweight and heavyweight division. Otherwise, they're not going to get any love if the excitement of super heavyweight is forcing all the efforts into that division.
Yeah, 100%. But we will see how that pans out. And, you know what I mean? Hopefully we will see some beautiful super heavyweight fights soon. Now, speaking of karate combat, moving on to the actual kickback card and some returning fighters we got coming out. Returning fighters for you guys to look out for. If you somebody who's just tuning in to karate combat, you're just starting to learn about stuff. We got 3 fighters that I want to talk about, and I want to ask a question about each one of them to my co-host, and then we'll move on to some of the top fighters that they have brought on the card as well. The new fighters that well, not new fighters, but new to karate combat. First off, returning fighters: Adam Noy, Awar Kazimba, and Edward Skivers. Three great talents in karate combat. Adam Noy, he fought Goyito Perez. The last time we were in Asia, in Singapore, crazy fight, ended up winning it. Also has an insane background. One of the best signings karate combat has done over these last few months. And he's fighting again. You also have Awar Kazimba, who knocked out Askarov, came in on like a day's notice, knocked him out, became an instant karate combat star, coming back again, fighting. He lives in Thailand, so it makes sense. I think Adam does as well. And then we got Edward Skivers, who's coming back, who is another boogeyman in karate combat. He is somebody who has some wins on some heavy talent. We'll get into that a little bit more, but we have these 3 guys coming back. I want to start with Adam Noy. I got a question about Adam Noy. Adam Noy's coming back. Adam Noy did a great performance against Goyito. I loved that fight. That was a great fight. He had a great performance. Do we feel like Adam Noy should get the number 1 shot if he wins this next fight?
No.
That was quick. I love it. What about you, Pickers?
I mean, I think I agree with Max. There's the competitive division. I would want to see him do some more, even though he did look super dominant. I also want to see him a little bit more aggressive at looking for the finish.
Mac, what's your reasoning?
Again, like Picker said, 1 is the lack of finishes. 2, and this is something that like I want to see more from karate combat, is that there are these guys that are high level that go up the ranks quickly, but I'm not a big fan of fighters getting a title shot within like 3 wins. And then also the fact is Jesus Lopez is still in the mix too, who is actually ranked higher than Adam Noy.
Yeah.
So if Adam Noy gets an win, I'd say match him up maybe with Jesus Lopez, and then that would be a number 1 contender fight to fight the winner of Vergara versus Chelmiah.
Yeah.
But honestly, I'd rather see both of them get like maybe 1 more fight and then fight each other for it.
Yeah, Adam Noy's 2 wins in karate combat. It's a lot of wins overall in MMA in general. He's got 2 wins in karate combat. 1 against Goyito, like I said. The other one against Ali Matamab. I think that was Dubai card, I want to say.
Yeah, who is a high level striker in his own right.
Yeah. Which was the whole card was high level strikers all around the board. It was insane.
It's the reason why Adam Noy, despite having 2 wins, is ranked so highly. It's just
Yeah.
because the quality of opposition has been so high for him, and that's maybe why he hasn't been getting the finishes. Is because those guys are no slouches.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, I agree too. It is a very stacked division. Probably the most stacked division is one that they really don't have to worry about right now because there's so many people in there trying to get to the top. It's a lot of talent we haven't seen fall in a few months too, that I feel like has championship potential. So I agree. I think honestly, the next fight for him, I think this fight should be Jesus Lopez. And if not Jesus Lopez, that should be his next fight. 100% should be his next fight, and whoever wins that should be able to get the chance at the title. So, yep. Digress. We move on to Awar Kazimba. Like I said, crazy knockout against just Jabbar Eskirov. Insane Muay Thai legend. This guy has a massive amount of wins. Awar Kazimba comes in, short notice, knocks him out, surprises everybody. Underdog of the night, performance of the night, knockout of the night. The man did everything all in one. Do we think Awar Kazimba can recreate this performance?
Post-fight speech of the night.
Post-fight speech of the night. But do we think Awar Kazimba could repeat this performance? Can he recreate this type of performance? Or do we feel like maybe that was a one-off thing?
I mean, that was for me. That was like rewatching that original fight between Diego Lopez and Evloev. I think to see somebody come in on what was it? You said like 24 hours or 2 days notice, fly in from another country across the world, and he was fighting a world class guy. Me and you were ranting and raving about how he fought the cow and how incredible he was and how heavy he hit, and withstand a pretty substantial beating through the beginning of the fight, and then come out with that. Yes, I think with the full camp and proper preparation, this dude will be a force to be reckoned with.
I agree. I definitely feel like he has the spunk. He has and he told one of the matchmakers that he knew exactly how to knock Askarov out and did it. So I mean, with that, me knowing that as well, I kind of lean more to the side of him recreating it as well. Mac, what do you feel like? Do you feel like is he a one hit wonder? Like,
no, he's an amazing talent. He's an amazing talent. Like, one thing I think is not getting a lot of love is the fact that he also has that very strong Taekwondo background, and it pairs so well with his Muay Thai. Like, in that fight, he hit 3 roundhouse kicks, powerful roundhouse kicks, moving backwards. You know how hard that is to do? People struggle with striking backwards with punches, and he was hitting powerful roundhouse kicks while evading strikes. That is very high level striking.
insanity.
And one thing I love that I'm seeing from Awar Kazimba is he's fully adopted that he is now a professional karate fighter. He is training at a Muay Thai gym, but he's training in the gi pants. He is getting used to the gi pants. And when he's sparring these high level nakmai, he's also learning how to pull his kicks quicker, because since you can grab the pants in karate combat versus Muay Thai where you just have the tight shorts, the high shorts, that is a factor that he needs to be prepared for, and he's preparing for it. He's getting very comfortable back in gi pants since his Taekwondo days.
Yeah, 100%. And these are all things to take into consideration with seeing if he's going to recreate a performance that is similar. I don't think you could recreate that same environment or setting, or that's a once in a lifetime kind of thing. But I feel like he could put up the same amount of volume and show us an amazing fight and an engaging one, and show us why the fans love him so much. I mean, like I said, that post-fight speech was amazing.
But welterweight's getting stacked too.
Yeah, it is. Welterweight and Bantam are definitely the 2 most stacked divisions right now in karate combat, and I love it, and I can't wait to see how the other ones start to pan out as well. But speaking of other divisions and just people killing it, Edward Skivers is coming back. And I love this guy. He's amazing, great fighter, and a longtime karate combat guy. If you look here, he has a very extensive karate combat fight history right here. And also, if you look at his losses, Luis Roca, current champion, Luis Roca, current champion, and that's it. The man has ran through everybody else, and these aren't nobodies. You got Teak Silva. We just talked about him. He's fighting the LFA now. Teak Silva is a amazing striker. Isn't his name like the Black Dragon or something like that? What is it? Something Dragon? Yeah, the Black Dragon. Crazy fighter, really good, explosive. I love him. He was a great personality too. I wish he would have stayed in karate combat. But he got
Honestly, that fight with Teague Silva, I actually honestly recommend watching it. That was his first fight, but it's arguably, in my opinion, the best fight of the pre-only gaming season 1.
yeah.
And you got to see how easily Edgar Screevers got used to the pit.
Yeah. So insane. Like I was saying, insane. Just record. The people he fought. Bruno Cease just fought for the interim title against Shazabe. Luis Roca, current champ, got a win over him. Tebuev, who we just talked about, retired champion, got a win over him. Got a win over Bruno Souza. Got a win over Gabriel Varga. So like this guy has win up against all of the top talent in karate combat. And he's got a win on all of them. Like he's lost to Luis Roca, but he's also beaten Luis Roca, right? So this man is a force to be reckoned with, and he is coming back to do his thing, what he normally does, and that's slay bears. Because he is the bear slayer, right? So if you're a bear, you're going up against him, beware, because this man slays the bears. Hey, if you take that, I just want 5% commission. All right. But Pickers, how you feel about Edward Skivers? Have you had a chance? I know you came in. He hasn't fought since you've been around, I don't think. His last one's 42. I think that's before me. Nah, I might have been there for 42. No, I was there. 42 was Vegas, right?
No, last time well, wait, which fight was his last fight? Was it against Rocha?
Yeah, it was Rocha.
Then that was in Dominican Republic.
Oh yeah, DR. Yeah. I see Scotland. You didn't see Scotland in the fight I was in. Yeah, so we haven't seen him fight. Have you had a chance to look through what the Bear Slayer is capable of? Do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely had a chance to look through. I actually even found some of his Shotokan footage on YouTube. So that was pretty cool. His distance management is really incredible. I also read on the Karate Combat site that he's a strength and conditioning coach. So, on top of obviously skill, strength, stamina, all of that, I'm sure he has a very high level of knowledge in those fields. And that's part of being a complete fighter, too. I can understand why this guy has so many W's in KC. I can understand how he even has a knockout over Tebuev, which blows my mind. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Insanely unbelievable. And I'm excited to see him fight. I like to see the OG karatekas come back, especially guys that's been in karate combat for a long time. Like I said, he has got 8 fights in karate combat. He's been doing this thing for a while. He's fought the best of the best. So let's see what he's gonna do and come back. And to be honest, like we said, like he's in that spot too, right? Where if he gets maybe a win or two, maybe another win on a top opponent, we could possibly see him fighting whoever wins between Shazabe and Luis Roca whenever they set that up. And that's also something that could possibly happen in December.
Yeah, no, that would make perfect sense. I mean, he has a win over that much at the top of the division. Why not give him one fight away from a title fight?
100% agree. Any closing statements on Skivers' return?
Yeah, I'd just say to talk a little bit about like what's come up to this moment is for those that haven't been following since the beginning, like he was the most dominant champion that Karate Combat had seen in the first time. He was running through everybody, through forward pressure, aggression, creative striking, creative use of the pit, and he knocked out Luis Rocha to win the belt in the first season. He was the first champion in Karate Combat history. Then he lost to Luis Roca, and he started losing some of that fanfare because he started adopting more of a wrestle heavy strategy, using more of those takedowns, especially against Gabriel Varga. Everyone was expecting like a stand up war between them. So it's going to be interesting to see in this fight whether we see more of that original Edgar Screevers or if we see more of the grappling Edgar Screevers. And or if there's going to be a hybrid of those two fighting styles that he's brought to the pit. And the other aspect, have they announced the opponent?
No, they haven't. I did not see that yet. And I texted the matchmaker this morning. I didn't get a text back yet. So I don't know exactly who he's fighting yet.
Well, I won't say who it is, but I'll just say that like it's going to be more of a young up and comer. So it's basically the fight is going to basically be whether the old veteran still has it, if he's going to make that other run to the title, or if he's going to get the new era run him over.
Yeah. Yeah. So definitely some things to take into account. Edgar Skivers is definitely one of the top tier guys in the league, and it's exciting to see him come back, especially in Thailand, where we're going to have a very exciting and exhilarating card. And I can't wait to see what he comes back with. Also, can't wait to see who his opponent is. So when we get more information on that, we'll touch back on that. I just want to talk about a few returning fighters that I feel like you guys should be paying attention to because they are really good fighters. And if you don't know, if you're just getting around karate combat, that's what we're here for, to represent the fighters and show you who you should be looking for. All right. But speaking of Thailand, there are a few fighters that we also have on, and they have announced this and deemed this the Thai invasion or the Thai invasion, whichever way you want to say it. But they're bringing the best talent from Muay Thai league in Thailand to come out and fight. And when you add up all the wins of these motherfuckers, I'm just saying, it's a shit ton of wins. And I had to make this big screen so everybody can see it and understand the magnitude of what we have here in front of our faces. Dude, this is insane. We literally have 78 wins, 80 wins, 200 wins, 78 wins, 191 wins, and 52 wins. And add it all together. And that's just the guys that they brought from Thailand out to be fighting. This is insanity. I am super excited about the two stadium champions going up against each other. I think that's where I'm at with it for fight of the night. You got massive amount of wins, almost 300 wins in between the both of them. Over, I think, 400 fights between the both of them. Insane. I'm super excited about that. I want to hear from you guys is what fight or what fighter are you the most excited about seeing? Anyone can jump into it. Doesn't matter.
I had a chance to watch some of Pin Touch's RSW footage from his tournament appearance there. I think he lost the final round. He's got amazing agility. He's got good power. He's very slick with his movements. He did a really good job slipping punches. I'm excited to see him in the karate combat pit. I think he's going to put on a good show.
Yeah, same. I watched a few of his stuff, his RWS. And I think his last two fights too. Yeah, he fought like 2 times in 6 months. He had a fight 3 months ago and then a fight 6 months ago. So he's been quite active. He had a TKO leg kick against that Yaduwat guy. Yaduwat, I think that's how you say his name, and then a unanimous decision against the other guy, Sandoff. And I was watching it, same thing. Great footwork, great head movement, very aggressive, tough as nails. He got knocked down a few times in the more recent fight with Sandoff. Still got up, laughed it off, tapped gloves real quick, and got back to it. So I'm excited to see what he's going to do in karate combat. His leg kicks are insane, similar to Askarov with the debilitating leg kicks, where he just takes you out. The fight, the 6 month ago fight against Yaduwat, that's how he took him out. He was just attacking that leg, just chopping it down. So I'm excited to see him fight too. That's the other one. That outside of it, the fight that I'm excited to see is the two stadium champions going up against each other. I'm not going to try to butcher their names right now. If you want to know their names, here's what their names are. I'm going to pull it up on the screen for you. There you go. You could try to figure that out on your own. I'm not going to butcher those until I get a pronunciation list. But I'm excited to see them two fight. But also, I'm excited to see Pimpect as well. I just don't know who he's fighting yet. So I don't know how to talk about it as far from a matchup perspective. Matt, who are you excited to see, if anybody, with these, or the matchup you want to see? Because we do have 2 matchups that are actually put together. I don't think the other guys have fights yet. Oh shit. Go ahead.
So, Pinpatch, I'm very excited to see his debut because he's already signed a multi-fight contract with Karate Combat. So we know he's in there for the long term. So it's going to be interesting to see how he adapts to the Karate Combat rule set. Yad, which I don't know if that's how you pronounce the name. I'm learning these pronunciations too. So Yad, which you mentioned his stadium championship. He won that at 16 years old.
Yeah.
Like
And also he's like, isn't he like, hey, let's pull it back up. He's like four league champion, IFMA, WBC, ISKA, and I'm not gonna try that, stadium champion of whatever stadium that name is. Yeah, what Max said.
Yeah, to put that to perspective, in the world of Muay Thai, stadium championships are some of the most prestigious championships. And the 3 most prestigious championships right now, historically and also right now, is the Rajadam Nern Stadium Championship, the Lumpini Stadium Championship, and Channel 7 Stadium Championship. So, and in that main event, we have Rajadam Nern and Lumpini Stadium Champion. So that's going to be an amazing fight. Now, I mentioned that at 16, he won the Stadium Championship. You know what he did at 17? He beat Sanchai.
Sheesh.
I don't know much about Muay Thai, but I know who that is.
Yeah. Sanchai is considered a GOAT.
Yeah.
The GOAT of Muay Thai. And now, in the world of Muay Thai, people have a much more higher tolerance for losses. When people talk about GOAT discussions, you don't need to be undefeated to be considered a GOAT.
Yeah.
Like hundreds of times, so you're gonna lose eventually.
Yeah, 100%. If you fight over 100 times, you're going to lose. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You're going to lose
So
once.
they look at your overall career to decide if you're GOAT. Now, Yadwich is also very interesting. He started out more as a Muay Khao, which is a knee specialist. And I'll delve more into like the different styles of these fighters when we do our breakdown. But he was relentless when he was younger, going into the clinch and setting up those knee strikes. But as he's gotten older, he's developed more of a mid-range game. He likes to strike more from the mid-range, and he has some vicious elbow strikes. I made a highlight reel for him, and you can see the effects of his elbow strikes in those highlights. So go check that out at Mac Tyson Karate.
Yes, sir. Check them out. Make sure you follow both my hosts too, man. They come up here every week, help me out with these shows. They give their great insights, and they do a lot of research over the week to prepare for these shows and bring y'all some good knowledge. So make sure y'all follow them. That's both of their Twitters right there. I think that's Mac's Instagram as well too. I don't know Pickers' Instagram. Are you on Instagram, Pickers?
Not yet. One of these days.
All right. Yeah, I'm working on getting him on social media, guys. That's why I just started post. That's why I made a YouTube, because he's so good and he won't post on social media. So I literally have to post it for him because I love him so much and I want his stuff to get out there because he has good stuff. So just know, if you guys do check in, we are taking his picks on Fridays for the MMA weekend, and we're posting them as a separate video on the channel so that you guys can go through. And also, I'll try to get the list from him and put the actual list of all of the picks at the bottom in the description for you guys so you can go through, because I know it's hard. I build parlays and stuff all the time. I know it's hard going back and forth through all of this stuff. We'll put it easy in one place. But listen to his breakdowns because they're amazing. He knows what he's talking about. Like I said, he went 7 for 9. But back to what you were saying, Mac, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, the other one that you should be keeping an eye on is, I talked about a Muay Thai legend, Sanchai. There is a Muay Thai legend on this card, and his name is Lordzilla. Lordzilla is...
Oh, yeah. You're right. I forgot about that guy. Let's pull it back up. Back to the graphic. Boom. He's the one with 191 wins.
Yeah, 3-division Rajaram Nern Stadium champion. And he's known for his elusive head movement. Like, I think his nickname is like the slippery eel or something, just because he is so hard to hit. And Though one of those losses, I should give a shout out to, came to someone on the Karate Combat roster known as Gabriel Varga. But with Lurdzilla, that's one to watch, and especially since this is going to be his retirement fight.
Oh, I didn't know that.
This is the last time you're going to be able to watch Lurdzilla fight.
This is fight number 230. Wow.
Jeez.
That's
I mean, it's
wild.
good to end on an even number too. If I was fighting, I would do the same. I'd be like, I can't end on 229, guys. I gotta fight one more time.
And to put this into perspective of why these numbers are so crazy is because, one, Thai fighters fight very frequently.
Yeah, very often.
Almost every weekend. But the other aspect is Thai fighters also start their professional career very young, like 8, 9 years old, 10 years old. So if you took that into perspective for like Western boxing, for example, if you added up all the amateur bouts boxers that have started from 8 years old did in addition to their pro records, you'd be getting records very similar to these Nakmoi.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's one of the reasons why Muay Thai fighters don't hard spar that much, because when you're fighting every weekend,
You don't
you
need
don't
to.
need to be getting extra damage in the ring. You should be drilling. You should be making it more fun. You should be learning how to make it more playful so that you can actually evolve your striking. Because there's only so much that you can evolve through hard sparring. I know I'm known as the karate expert, guys, but I know more about other arts too. So I'm glad to do this part too, because I can show off some other knowledge too.
Yeah, 100%. And I agree with us hard sparring too, because also something to take into account over that fight with Ilia and Max. Max didn't hard spar for a very long time. And I think this was the first fight camp he hard sparred in a long time. And to be honest, the first time he got knocked out too. So, I mean, I don't know the correlation between the two. I don't know if it's directly connected, but I mean, you got to look at stuff as like maybe sometimes it's not a coincidence. Maybe sometimes it leads to it. But excited to see it. Like, very durable guys, very high level guys. These guys are very experienced. Like I said, we're talking like almost 1,000 fights between all of them, the guys that we just showed on the graphic. So shout out Karate Combat for getting some of the best Muay Thai legends. We get to see one retire. We get to see the last fight. That's dope. We've seen a few of those over this last few years, and I love to see it, man. But we are coming towards the end of our show, the closing of our show. But, we cannot let you guys go anywhere. I'm sorry. I just can't let you guys go anywhere until my man hook y'all up with them picks for the weekend. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this off. I'm going to go here. I'm going to give my man the floor, actually. And I'm going to let you rock out. Actually, I'm going to give you the floor. This is MMA Pickers Picks of the Week, baby. Let's hear them.
Okay, so first I'm going to go through a couple of just simple parlay pieces. You can use these as boosts for your money line picks. The fights opening with Jamie Lynn North versus Ivana Petrovic. Both of these women, all their last 5 fights in the UFC have finished via decision. So that's going to be the over 2.5 at minus 400. Use that as a booster. I also like Ann Helliger versus Gibson, which is the next fight to go the distance. That's at a much more generous minus 230. Both of these guys do have finishing ability. A lot of Cody Gibson's finishes have come via sub. Both of these guys have also proven to be very tough, durable, in shape, and not chinny whatsoever. And I think it's a very equal matchup, so I think there's a good chance that it'll go the long run. So I'm going to use that as a parlay booster as well. Alexander Romanov versus Rodrigo Nascimento to go over a round and a half. Both of these guys have strong grappling. Alexander King Kong Romanov is primarily a wrestler. Rodrigo Nascimento has pretty nice jiu-jitsu. I think both of them should be able to avoid most of the submission attempts and negate damage on the ground. I think a lot of this fight will play out on the ground. They also both don't have excellent gas tanks, so I think we could see the cardio go early. So I like the over 1.5 at minus 180. Zahabi versus Munoz. Zahabi sitting at a minus 142. I think he's just a lot more well-rounded than Munoz. I think first of all, he has more length, which will give him a nice edge in the striking. Munoz is a great striker, but he has struggled with good boxers in the past. Um, Zahabi also has good wrestling. I think that'll help neutralize a lot of Munoz's offense. And I mean, I like Zahabi by decision, but I think the money line at -140 is plenty generous. Another money, well, this is more of a parlay piece, but a straight bet that I'm going to take. Despite his last performance against Neil Magny, I'm going to take Mike Mallet to beat Trevin Giles. Mike Mallet was dominating that fight with Neil Magny, showing off great ground game. He was in the mount position up until he was losing. He had the big advantage on the feet, boxing, kickboxing, range distance management, considering he was fighting a guy that was a head taller than him. Everything looked on point. And 13 minutes into the fight, he ran out of gas. And a minute later, he got finished on the ground via ground and pound after a very nice sweep by Neil Magny. Despite the fact that he didn't manage his gas tank very well, um, I do think he displayed a lot of really good technique and a lot of skill in that fight. I don't think Trevin Giles is half the opponent that Neil Magny is. I'm going to take Mike Mallet to win here just on the money line. Another fight, I kind of like the underdog in this one. Dustin Stolfus versus Marcus Andre Barriault. Marcus Andre Barriault's been on a little bit of a skid lately. Stolfus has also, but he's been fighting extremely tough opponents, a much tougher strength of schedule, maybe minus Chris Curtis on the Marcus Andre Barriault end. I think Stolfus is a very good grappler, will have a good advantage on the ground, and there's a good chance that he can use that as a path to victory. So I think at plus 170, I'm going to rock with Stolfus. Caio Machado versus Brenson Ribeiro. I think the UFC gave up on Ribeiro a little bit too quick. Took some tough losses. His grappling obviously needs some improvement. But honestly, I'm just not super impressed with Caio Machado. He might have the worst gas tank in the division. I really didn't understand why he even got the contract on Contender Series. I don't know why he's a -150 underdog favorite here. So I'm going to rock with Ribeiro. He's got the power in his hands. I think he will be able to keep this fight on the feet. And I think he'll be able to get it done, find the KO. This one I have all kinds of opinions about. Derek Lewis versus Jonathan Denise. Denise is obviously a great prospect, undefeated. I think he's 8-0 right now, already ranked. But I mean, Derek Lewis has more KOs than this guy has fights. We know Derek Lewis is an absolute beast with his right hand. He's probably got the most KO power in the UFC, maybe minus Tom Aspinall or Sergey Pavlovich. And the knockout prop for him is sitting at plus 215. So I'm going to be smashing that all day at plus 215. This is a guy who, at any moment in the fight, can land one shot, and that one shot will change everything. Blanchfield versus Namajunas. I'm a little bit scared to pick this one because every time I bet on Namajunas, I lose. So full disclosure. But I am going to take Blanchfield by decision. I do think Blanchfield will have a wrestling advantage over Namajunas. Namajunas has very good jiu-jitsu. I don't think she's going to get subbed by Blanchfield as easily as some of Blanchfield's other opponents. I think Blanchfield may be the physically larger fighter in this fight. And the striking's pretty tit for tat. I'd probably give a slight advantage to Namajunas. But assuming Blanchfield can wrestle a little bit better than Tracy Cortez, I think she should be able to get it done with ground control time. And finally, the main event, Moreno versus Amir Albazi. I like Moreno's chances in this. I think Albazi won his last fight via robbing Kai Kara France. I thought Kai Kara France got the better of him in that fight. I think Moreno's boxing is going to be a lot for Amir Albazi to deal with. And Moreno's a very accomplished wrestler, too. I don't think Albazi is going to be able to ragdoll him on the ground or find success in that area necessarily. So I'm going to go Moreno to win. The money line's at -175. Decisions at plus 140. It's not a super generous turnover, but I guess you are getting, almost a full unit's worth of odds there. So let's say Brandon Moreno by decision at plus 140 is the call. And yeah, that about wraps it up. I will be putting other prop bets and value bets on my Twitter, or my X, excuse me, the day before the fight. So keep an eye on that.
Yes, sir. Keep an eye on that, man. Make sure you follow his Twitter, which is right there on the screen. The MMA picker. He has an S on his too. I think it's pickers, right?
Yeah,
On Twitter. Yeah. So make sure you add the S. It should pop up once you start typing it in, though. But shout out MMA pickers, man. He definitely takes his time out to do these bets, and he does extensive research, y'all. Like, if y'all ever seen some of his notes, I've seen them. They're crazy. This man knows what he's talking about. He does the research. And like I said, he hit crazy on the last one. So,
yeah, we ate good on the Lane fight. I'll tell you that much. Thank
yeah,
you,
we did.
Morales.
And the crazy thing is, the Magmi fight, I agree with you on that one. I also agree with the Kai Kara France one. I do feel like Kai Kara France was robbed, and Thug is probably the hardest person to bet on in the UFC because you never know where Thug Rose is at. I love Rose Namajunas. I probably just messed up her name, whatever. I love Thug Rose. That's why I just stick to Thug Rose. That's so easy. I love Thug Rose. She's a great fighter, amazing. I would love to see her get the belt again, but she is her own worst enemy, and that's the only person that beats Thug is Thug. That's it.
Hey, Blanchfield's a tough chick, you know?
She is, and I love her, and I want to see this fight so bad. I feel like this is a great fight. They put it in Edmonton. Edmonton and Canada does have great UFC events. We've had some amazing events there. They had some great fight nights too at Edmonton, so I'm excited to see this one, and I feel like they put together a really good card. I pretty much agree with all your picks. I probably do have some degeneracy in me in there somewhere when I start looking at these odds. I'm going to do my little side picks, but I learned, and I'm going to tell y'all, if y'all watching and y'all take heed to these picks, is I'm a parlay guy. I love parlays, but I had to start learning to take straight bets, especially with pickers. I used to look at all his bets and then I go, I'm going to place this together with this and this and this. So now I do that, but I also take everything straight, money line. I do like his 2-leg parlays and stuff like that. And that's honestly the smarter way to do things. And this is why he makes more money on betting than I do. You know what I mean? Because I'm not as smart. I am a donator to the sports books at times. But I'm getting better. One more thing I want to talk about before we leave. It's 2 things, and they both have to do with the UFC. Really quick. Well, let's just talk about one of them. I'm going to save the other one. It's not really that crazy anyways. Bilal Muhammad toe looks like a balloon right now. His toe looks insane. I don't know if you guys seen the pictures. I'll try to find the pictures real quick while I ask for this. But the GOAT may step in and save the day for I don't know how many times this year. This is the 4th time he stepped in and saved the day. He saved the day for Madison Square Garden. He saved the day for 300. He saved the day for 303. And now again, he might be saving the day for UFC 310. And if you don't know who I'm talking about by now, you obviously do not watch the UFC or any MMA at all, because we're talking about the left hook king himself, Hands of Stone himself, Alex Pereira. And Alex is a damn G if he takes this fight. But in my opinion, what I want to ask is, do you guys think he should take this fight? With, him saying that he needs a rest with all of these fights he's taken. The last one was rough. I mean, if it was any of the fights before, I would say, whatever. But the last one was rough. I mean, he might have got the best of, Khalil Roundtree, but that was still a tough fight. Do you guys think he should fight this soon? And I do have the picture. Ooh, graphic warning now. I'm telling y'all now, graphic warning. This picture is nasty. I'm telling you now, okay? So forewarning, if you don't like nasty stuff, I'm about to pull this up while he speaks. But yeah, there it is. Oof, that's nasty. Like I said, a balloon. But do you think Alex should step in and save the day again?
I mean, I don't know how much of a difference it makes if he fights Ankalaev now or if he fights Ankalaev in 6 months. At the end of the day, the question is, can he beat him despite Ankalaev's wrestling? I think they both fought in October. Alex he got caught with a couple good hits, but he didn't take a tremendous amount of damage from the Khalil Roundtree fight. Though he was a little banged up going into that fight. I mean, they're both basically coming off of a fight in October, and granted, Alex has been much more active this year, but he either is going to have the ability to deal with the wrestling aspect of Ankalaev's game, or he's not. I don't care how banged up he is. If it plays out on the feet, Alex is going to win. So
Yeah,
I just don't think it changes the circumstances that much. And I think, yes, if it'll save 310, that's the fight everyone's been dying to see forever. Yes, absolutely.
100%. And then I think that solidifies the fighter of the year conversation at that point.
If he wins.
Yeah, if he wins, it solidifies the fighter of the year conversation. Because honest, Alex isn't. That's the other thing. That's the only other variable I could say is Ilia is kind of getting on a picky choosy mode. When he got the belt, he kind of got on that. I want to fight so and so. I don't want to fight. Alex, like, I don't care. Who want to fight?
There was
You wanna
nobody
fight?
else for him to fight but Max Holloway, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, true indeed. 100%. Like, it wasn't anybody for the fight, but I feel like he was jumping up weight classes. Like, he was talking about going double champ status and stuff. It's like, slow down, my German, Spanish, Georgian brother, because I don't know what he is. That's the other thing. What the fuck is Ilia Topuria? Let's be real. This man was born in Germany.
To Georgian parents, went to Georgia, and then claimed Spain. Like,
He's
I don't.
multicultural.
Definitely multi everything. Because I didn't even know he was born in Germany until they posted it. I think like on the UFC or something, they were showing something that was like born in Germany. I'm like, what? Where is this man's identity? Who is he? But Mac, what were you about to say?
And from what I understand, the two main ones he claims is Spain and Georgia.
In Georgia, yeah, they're the two main ones. But he was born in Germany.
And if he had to pick one, he'll pick Spain.
Which is weird because he's Georgian.
Yes, but it's like sometimes it's like your ethnicity, but like with some of the, like in the United States, we have the hyphenated American phenomenon. We always pay respect to our ancestry.
Yeah,
but a lot of these other countries, that's not how it is. You're either of that country or you're not.
Yeah. Well, interesting background for him, but yeah, he's a beast. Definitely gonna know who's fighter of the year if Alex fights. If Alex fights, I think it's guaranteed. Even if he wins or loses, I think he just gets fighter of the year. You think if he loses, he doesn't get it?
No way, of course not.
I don't know, man. I mean, I understand from the perspective of then he's not an all-around fighter for the UFC, and we could get more into that. That's a deeper conversation, but I don't know, man. That man has just been saving the UFC. I think just to the fact that he saved the UFC so many times, they just kind of got to give it to him. But
that's not what the Fighter of the Year awards for. Also, would have
understood. Okay, I'm going to shut up now. He's got a great point there. And I guess that's the best way to end this, right? With MMA pickers with a great point, shutting me the fuck up. All right, so listen. That was episode 10 of the Warriors Voice podcast. Shout out my co-hosts, always coming through, showing love, giving their great insights. Make sure you follow them both on Twitter. There's their Twitters right there below. Also, before we go, quick shout out to KC Karate Combat. If you haven't already, please download the app right there. Take you to karate.com where you can see everything from the rules, the fighters. You can set up your account through the app. Go ahead and make your votes on the fighters, make your votes on the league changes, do everything, become a part of the community. Come in here, get your picks, everything, man. That's what we do here. Now, appreciate all of y'all. Appreciate y'all for 10 episodes, man. For real. Everybody who showed up and been showing us love. We've been growing substantially. If you haven't got over to the YouTube, if you're on Twitter, please check out our YouTube. We do have a YouTube up now. We're posting shorts, everything. I'm posting a lot of shorts. Shorts are getting really good views too. So shout out to people that are watching the shorts. They're starting to really pick up. Yeah, man, I'm just grateful. Grateful for my co-hosts, grateful for all of you guys, and grateful to make it to 10 episodes. So on that note, we're going to get up out of here. We love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Deuces.
Turn it up, turn it round. Break the chains, feel the surge. Rebel hearts on the verge.
Body kick again.
Battle flows through every word. Warriors' voice will be heard.